right, let's do this. We're getting there. A lot of moving parts. Welcome to the Hummel Show. Somewhat of an abbreviated show. Well, I usually go for about an hour. We'll go for probably just about that. Maybe, no, just under that. I am going to get out on time. By on time, I mean early so that I don't get yelled at, because that is the worst. Really nothing incites panic inside of me more than Bubba being pissed. Like me missing a deadline or waiting for someone, to send me something so I can post it. If I know my name is on the line and it's my responsibility, I start to panic. I can't focus on anything else. I will leave the gym. I will get up during a meal. I don't care what it is. Just anything to make the boss man. It's not even happy. It's just not mad. If I can avoid the anger and the ire of Bubba the Love Sponge, I will do everything in my power to do that. It's beyond just like a sense of disappointment. It's that, you catch Bubba in the wrong mood on the wrong day, and maybe he has or hasn't taken his pills. It depends. Sometimes it can make him more irritable, when he has less room for tolerance. But other times, if you were asking a favor, he's more likely to and inclined to say yes, which is great. Oh, Neil Mount Pleasure, $9.99 on the super chat. Awesome. Thank you so much. Fasting coach down 55 pounds. Guys, I have been getting lots of emails, lots of messages. Not so much. Maybe a little bit on Instagram, not so much. But mostly emails. You guys found me. You are contacting me. You are sharing your stories of success, of trial. I have yet to get a message from someone that says, hey, I tried this not eating thing and it really backfired. I'm fatter now than ever. So it's one of those things where it's like, and I know. Besides the fact of beyond the, obviously if you're not eating, you're losing weight because you're not consuming any calories. Beyond that, just trying to explain a little bit of the science of why it's so beneficial for the body. And again, I always, when people ask me, I'll keep his identity confidential and anonymous, but I had someone reach out to me, a fan yesterday, not of me, of the show, relax, and ask about the intermittent fasting, and they're like, what should I do, da-da-da, and I always like to be very clear that it is not for everyone. There are certain people that it's probably not. If you are an anorexic and you intermittent fast all the time, I probably wouldn't recommend it for you. If you are someone that needs to put on weight, if you are a pregnant woman, although, again, let me disclaimer, not a doctor. Is intermittent fasting even healthy for pregnant women? I would say it depends on the woman. If losing weight would make you a healthier person and be better inclined to carry the baby to term in a healthful way, I would suggest that maybe it is beneficial for you to intermittent fast. I know labor is called labor because it's very labor intensive. So if you can get yourself in a healthier state, I don't think it's an excuse for, again, I've never been pregnant. No, I'm not a doctor, but I would say that you probably should keep moving through your pregnancy to the best of your ability. Obviously, as you get later in the pregnancy, you probably can't be doing the same shit you did a few months before. High impact movement probably want to stay away from. But I think you should be moving and grooving and stretching and doing as much as you can, basically up until the point you give birth. Again, I need to clarify and reiterate, not a doctor, but just as a human being, that's what's healthy to do. So, gentle moving or whatnot. As for intermittent fasting, the shit works. It's free. That's the main thing, is that it's all available to you for free. And it's interesting because the psychology of intermittent fasting, if I can call it that, because I feel like there's some psychology in terms of motivation and discipline, sometimes it's harder for people to do things. Like you have to go to the gym, you have to exert extra energy and effort to do something. And then there's the discipline it takes to not do something, which is to not eat, or to not eat certain foods or something. It's the denial aspect. I find that that's usually harder for me, is like I can go make myself do hard things. It's when I have to restrict myself or deny myself. Like it's similar in terms of willpower, but for some reason, like denying myself takes more mental effort than like going and forcing myself to go. Like I feel like I can muscle through things, but if I really am craving something or really want to do something, it takes a lot more effort for me to say no, for me to abstain. So for some of you, I'm sure intermittent fasting kind of falls into the latter category. Brian from Philly, $10 on the super chat, says just stop eating fatties. That's great. I'm glad we have an emotional support intermittent fasting group led by Brian from Philly, who says, just stop eating fatties. That's always very helpful. And sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. I know that there's big debate among psychologists or people who are on TikTok who claim to, know everything about psychology and human and adolescent and childhood development. And they say, fat shaming doesn't work. I'm like, sometimes it does. Sometimes it fucking does. When someone tells you, you look terrible, you shouldn't eat that. Listen, it'll probably cause psychological problems. That is probably undeniable. But again, sometimes people get motivated by negative feedback. I know I do. I get motivated by positive feedback, but I think most people get really motivated by negative feedback because I feel like we're drawn to stay away from bad things more than we're drawn to things that are good for us. Which is sad because when someone offers you a compliment like, oh, you look really good, keep doing what you're doing, that feels good, but it fades. It fades pretty quickly. Like you need that validation on a more regular basis. Whereas when someone tells you something like you're fat or they make fun of you, that shit sticks with you for life. Like I'm sure we can all remember times where we were bullied or someone made fun of us. I was called on it with the lobes when I was carpooling to 6th grade as I would try to funnel into this minivan by a man who was a teacher at the school. He was also my neighbor, and he would pick me up on the way to school, as well as a bunch of other kids who went to Lincoln Middle School in Vista, California. And I would have to be sandwiched in between these two people with my fucking giant French horn. And I was 11 years old. And I was also just like a bigger person. I'm basically the same size I am right now at 11. So that's like almost giant status. And with just a giant French horn and frizzy hair and braces and big lobes. And there was this guy named Blaine Todd who was a piece of shit. Don't know where he is now. Don't care if he's dead, whatever. He was one of the neighborhood kids, and he called me Anna with the lobes, like maybe once or twice. And how old am I? 36. So you do the math. 25 years later, still very crisp in my memory. So, unfortunately, we're really motivated by things. Not that I can like work out and my lobes will get smaller, but those negative comments unfortunately seem to stick with us a lot longer, and they're far more impactful than things that are said to us that are positive. Good girl or good job on her. You did great. I have pockets of memories where I remember getting accolades, but really the ones that cut the deepest and make the most impact on your life as an adolescent and therefore as an adult are really the negative things that people made fun of you for, the things people said you couldn't do. But fuck the haters, right? I hate saying that. It's so lame because I have haters, but they're just people that don't like me. It's not like they're like, you are incapable. Like, no one tells me that. People are just like, you're ugly. I hate you. Your opinion sucks. But it's really nothing to do with my like value or abilities. It's not like I'm a basketball player and they're like, you can't win the championship. And you're like, oh yeah. Like, how am I going to really prove the haters wrong? Just, I don't know. Keep doing what the fuck. Like, I'm going to make you like me more. No, that's never the goal. Oh shit. Mike Thurman, $49.99. I'm making some money. I'm making some motherfucking money on this show for the number 2 on the show, not 5 or 6 plus. The new hair does look great. Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you. Oh, Bright Farm, Jones Island. Oh shit, I didn't mean to overlook you, sir. 1999, Bright Farm. I believe you called in and about your wife, and we wish her a speedy recovery. I'm not sure if you mentioned that you have COVID. I hope you don't. That sucks. But I always feel bad like offering anything medical advice related because, number one, not qualified. Number two, I'm sitting right next to Dr. Dan, so it seems silly to even open up my stupid mouth. But sometimes I'm just like, I mean, can the bitch breathe? Like that. Like if you were to call me and be like, Anna, what do you think I should do on Dr. Hummel if I'm a doctor? I'd be like, can the bitch breathe? You're like, yeah, she doesn't feel well. I'd be like, walk it off. I don't know. That's what I would say. I try to stay clear of everything except Xanax. But anyways, that's just me. I think that the less medicine we put in our bodies, the better. Not to get all fucking holistic on your ass, because I don't know. I'm in a weird spot because, like, I don't want to consider myself to be a holistic person. That seems weird because I'm not really a spiritual person. But I would encourage people to try to heal themselves and prevent illness through, natural herbal remedy ways before they turn to pharmaceuticals. I don't think. The more I'm learning about pharmaceuticals, it just makes me mad. Even the stuff that is like repurposed. And listen, there is some shit that like you need to take. If you have like a really bad infection and you need to take some antibiotics, fine. Like, I really don't have an issue with big pharma when it comes to acute issues, right? You have an infection, even though a lot of people are way overtaking antibiotics, and that's fucking them up too and making, you resistant to other shit that you shouldn't be. You're not, it makes the strains more resistant because you should only be taking them sparingly, but the more that you take it, you grow up tolerance to it, and then they stop working. And also it just destroys your gut microbiome because you got to think your gut microbiome is made up of all these good gut bugs, which are bacteria, good bacteria that, take the food that you eat and turn it into energy and help with mitochondrial uncoupling. But we're not going to get into that right now because that's a little bit too far in the weeds, okay? We won't get into that. But yeah, antibiotics are overprescribed, or I should say overused, because a lot of times you just you keep them in your cabinet, and every time you have an issue, you take them. Not a great idea. But anything that's like acute and you want to take medicine for, whatever. But shit that's like chronic, that you are just like on this medication for life. Now, I'm sure many of you can call in and go, well, I need this medication, this anti-rejection medication, otherwise I'll die. Obviously, don't listen to me, whatever. But even those medications, those, I remember my dear friend, Little Wilbur's Afterbirth. My dear friend, see you tonight, Hum Sauce. Thank you. And thank you so much for the cooler. That was a very, very thoughtful gesture. I appreciate it. If I can say you. Craig, appreciate it very much. Oh no, what was he saying? Something about pharmaceuticals and how they have. Oh yeah, my dear friend SBK, right? Now, once upon a time, SBK and I used to be friends. I wouldn't say close friends, but we were cordial. I appreciated him. I thought he was very funny. I remember one time I was asked to rank the funniest people at the Bone when I worked there, and even before Johnny B, who is a bona fide, hilarious stand-up comedian in Tampa Bay, I said that SBK was the funniest guy on the Bone. Funnier than anybody on the morning, afternoon. Drew, whatever. I was just like, SBK is fucking hilarious. And he always makes me laugh every time I listen to him. And I had a real fondness for SBK. I remember when he first got his own show on the Bone. I went out of my way to really congratulate him. I mean, that all took a turn for the worst when he accused me of being a racist, which was cute. Hey! Which was cute. That's what I just said. Sorry, my mic dropped. Literally, it dropped. That wasn't a pun or anything. But yeah, SBK, I remember, for those that don't know, had a kidney. I guess it's a kidney transplant. I learned somewhat recently, like in the last 2 years, that if you get a kidney from somebody else, right? So I get a kidney from Bubba, or let's say Jay. Jay's like the healthiest person on the show. If I get a kidney from Jay, they don't take out my bad kidney. They just stick a new one in me. I didn't know that. And then after that, I think you have to be on anti-rejection medication for the rest of your life, conceivably. I don't know if it's like this in every case. I'm sure it's probably more likely to be the case when you're unrelated to the person. I think the closer the match to your DNA, the better it will probably be received by your body. Don't know this for sure, but I'm assuming that's kind of how it goes. And I remember asking SBK about the anti-rejection medication. He's like, yeah, it's got a lot of horrible side effects and it eventually kills you. Or he said something like that. And I went, what the fuck? I'm like, it kills you? He goes, yeah, you like eventually die from this anti-rejection medication. Or maybe it wasn't die. Maybe he was being a bit hyperbolic. I don't know. Or maybe it does. I'm not quite sure. But he says that, it allows you to live longer than you would if you didn't take it. So I'm like, man, that just seems to be a horrible, set of options. It's like you get this new kidney or whatever, or maybe new heart, liver, whatever the case may be, and you either die because you don't take the medication afterwards, or you take the medication as horrible side effects, and those side effects eventually kill you. So I've really been learning a lot about pharmaceuticals and how much I hate them. I'm so angry at it. And again, it's mostly for the chronic issue stuff. Because listen, sometimes you need antibiotics. Sometimes you need antiviral whatever. But when you're on something that is designed for you to stay on it forever, that's when I start saying, I don't know about that one. Can we fix this another way? But I also know that I'm going to say Americans, but, let's just say Westerners, let's make it a bit more broad, are so fucking lazy oftentimes because our environment is just based on, what we call Amazon Prime culture, or what I've heard people call it that, just instant gratification. We don't want to work hard. We don't want to really change our lifestyle. We want to eat the, garlic knots and do all the things. We don't want to stop drinking. We don't want to stop drinking alcohol or the sugars or whatever your vice is. We don't want to stop doing that. So we'd rather just take a pill because that's easier. Ugh. I don't know. Not a fan of it. And I feel like there's no such thing as a free lunch, right? Even when we talk about taxes and reparations and you get free money from the government, it's like, it's not though, unless they print it. But then that causes other problems like inflation. So at the end of the day, you suffer. You suffer either way. So just know that usually the easy way, there is no easy way, it seems, is what I'm learning. Not saying I'm that old and that wise, although some people would say I'm old and, not wise. But whatever. I've learned that there's really just no such thing as a free lunch. And when someone tries to market something as such, I think that's when your little feeler should go up and you go, I don't think so. There's the catch. Where's the cost? Where do I have to pay for this, quote, free lunch? Because it just seems like it's too easy. Are there side effects? Is it really costly? Is it gonna fuck me up in the future? What are the consequences? Like, there's always something. And usually, sometimes doing the hardest thing, I find to be more rewarding because you feel like you either earned it or, when you change your habits with anything, spending, eating, any sort of gluttonous move, and I don't just mean that in terms of food, but anything that where you're just doing it a poor job, too much time on social media, whatever the case may be, like you're spending, for example, like say you're a chick, you're 14 years old, you're spending tons of time on social media, you hate your life because you're like, wow, I'm not Susie, I'm not Kelly, I'm not Camden, I'm not this person, I'm not that person, and you keep comparing your life to theirs. And you get really depressed. You get really sad. And mom notices you're sad. And so she takes you to the sad doctor. And the sad doctor says, why don't you take some SSRIs? Why don't you take some Prozac? Why don't you take some Zoloft? Now you're on Prozac. Now you're on Zoloft. And they got their own side effects. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you grow some, tolerance to that. Now instead of taking 20 milligrams, now you're taking 40. And then they just keep you on that for the rest of your life because you're told, hey, you've been diagnosed with depression and depression's bad. And so you need to take these pills to make you better, but they don't make you better. They maybe take the edge off the symptoms, but they really don't get at the root of the cause. Now, if let's just say Lisa's mom, the affected teenager, said, hey, maybe you should get your fat ass up and join the track team and stop spending so much goddamn time on social media, you wouldn't hate your life so much. And guess what happens? Lisa gets on the track team, starts running, stops spending time on social media, starts feeling good about herself. Now she has some self-esteem, her depression subsides, and everything's fine, and she never had to take a pill. So I encourage you, not that I feel like I'm such this big advocate for health, and it's weird. It's like I am, but not for the right reasons. It's not because I really care about the people. It's that I'm really mad about all the shit that's going on with Big Pharma. So for me, being healthy is like an act of subversion. Like it's like two birds to the fucking system is what that is. It's like, fuck you, government. Fuck you, Big Pharma. I don't need your help. I don't need your fucking medical care. I don't need your nothing. I don't want your pills. I don't want anything from you because you do not have my best interests at heart. You just want to make money. You just want to make profits. So when I think about that, it makes me really mad. And then an act to be like, fuck you to that is for me to get healthy and never rely on that shit. So that's why it's not that I really care about your health. It's more that I'm just really angry at how the system is set up. And in a way for us to not be on the teat of the government or Big Pharma or big medicine or whatever you want to call it, medical devices, whatever, is to be just like fucking ready for that zombie apocalypse. Like when people ask me what am I training for, because sometimes I go pretty hard. I'm just like, tomorrow's workout. I'm fucking just training for life, bro. There's no triathlon. There's no marathon. There's no 10K. Maybe a 5K in my future. I might do the hot chocolate run. We'll see. But I'm really not training for anything other than just fucking longevity, bitch. And that I don't have to be relying on the government because that shit makes me mad. And that makes me feel like I'm some little kid that can't figure it out on my own. And I need Big Daddy government to come in and save me from myself. Which is weird because even though I am so anti the government and the health thing and they don't give a shit about you, like I also think that you should be able to eat whatever the fuck you want. Like if you want to put, because I know in some countries, I think like Singapore, they have limitations on how much sugar you can put in a drink and stuff like that. And I also think that's bogus. Like I don't want the government telling me I can't have, 50 grams of sugar in a soda. That makes me mad too. I want the option to do it, but I also want like the mental fortitude to be like, nah, I'm good. It's weird. It's really weird. I just want the government out of my fucking life. Let me do what I want to do, but also, don't try to act like you are this overarching agency, know-it-all power that has figured it out for the people that you serve. Because guess what? The government is just made up of people, and those people don't give a fuck about you. They give a fuck about them and putting money in their pockets, and I fucking respect that hustle. I respect that shit. I used to get like angry. You get angry like, oh, the rich, the poor, it's not fair. It's like, you know what? Life's not fair. Fucking accept that shit. I can understand greed. I'm greedy. You're greedy. Everybody is greedy. Everybody wants more than they have. That's, people get so mad. They're like, oh, Bezos is so greedy. Gates is so greedy. I'm like, so are you. Well, if you're making all that fucking money, you'd think you'd be like, nah, I have had enough. No, you take more. You want more. That's just how we're, biologically designed. So I don't get mad at the player or the game. I just take responsibility for myself. I understand that, people are trying to make money, and I can appreciate that hustle, but I don't have to buy the product. If they're selling me metformin because like, hey, you don't have to change what you're eating. You could be just, diabetic, pre-diabetic. This will help control your blood sugar or whatever, your insulin levels. That's fine. You don't have to change what you're eating. I go, no, fuck you. I see what you're selling is the easy way out. I'm not going to take it. But like, fuck, I respect your hustle. I respect the hustle for people that sell shit, especially, and they just kind of like bamboozle a bunch of people, into thinking that, oh my God, they have this knowledge that nobody else has. That's why I'm always like really reticent to, I've been thinking about, not starting a business, not really, but like, I'm like, okay, I know some shit about some shit. Like, how can I provide service to people and make money? Like, those thoughts have crossed my mind. And then I have like imposter syndrome. I'm like, who do I think I am to offer services that other people like can't just fucking Google? I don't know. Like, I'm like, what am I going to do? Be a life coach? By the way, coaching is such a, I'm trying to think if I know any coaching. Not like Dr. Dan coaching. He does that as a volunteer. But, like the life coaching, the, I don't know, new diet coaching, like fitness coaching. I think I don't want to say it's like all a scam, but kind of. Like personal trainer's fine because they show you things. But I think the goal of the personal trainer, I mean, if you're rich, whatever, you're a Kardashian, you just like someone to yell at you and that gets you motivated, fine. But if the intention is to learn something, all right, you get a few sessions, you learn how to work a few machines, and then you do your thing. Again, I probably wouldn't do that, which is why I was thinking about becoming a personal trainer. And then I'm like, why would anyone want a personal train with me when they could just go on YouTube and figure it out for themselves? But not everyone's built like I am. So I understand that. But coaching, I've looked into this. Like, it is, to me, it's like it's a scam. But not, because people who do it find value in, in their coaches. But it's like, what is this fucker telling you that you couldn't figure out on your own? But maybe that's where, my high IQ comes in. So who knows? Hello, who's this?
Hey, on a Hummel, brother. It's not Tampa Terry, not up here in Nova Scotia, dude.
It's Joe. It's Holyoke. Joe, what's up?
Hey, good guess. I knew you'd get me. I've been practicing that intro.
It was pretty good, but I was like, it's Joe.
But I talk a lot with Tampa Terry. We were going back and forth about intros, and we were talking about his intro yesterday and stuff. And so I had to do it today. And it was more of a shout out to him, more of a paying homage than it was anything bad. But that's not why I called. Why I called was to talk about intermittent fasting. Shocker, right?
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so it's not the usual conversation. It's not how much weight I've lost. It's not how many inches I've lost. It's not any of that. I mean, there's a lot of good numbers that go along with it.
Sure.
Like my number one thing and why I'm calling is because of my blood sugar.
Okay.
Ironically, you were just talking about blood sugar and diabetes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now, before I started intermittent fasting, my blood sugar was up in the high 200s. It was going from 220 to 250, made its way up in the 300s. And that was
assuming that's really high. I really don't even know. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So 100 is your goal. And I've been told
right.
150 was good. And then my visiting nurse tried telling me that 200 was good for me.
Yeah.
But when I was in the hospital, 150 was our optimal. They wouldn't feed me until they tested it. And if it was 150, then I could eat.
Okay.
So that's what we did in the hospital. Now, I started this intermittent fasting thanks to you 100%. And I give all credit to you 100%. Like when I talk to my doctors and stuff,
yeah.
I know it sounds funny, like, oh, who's on a Hummel, but I'm going to give credit where it's due because I never knew anything about intermittent fasting before you.
Right.
As soon as you spoke about it, I jumped in, and it was really easy. So I know it's not easy for everybody. It was really easy, and now it's even easier.
Yeah.
But
it gets
now
easy quick.
Now my blood sugars are, like, 103, 133 yesterday. Like,
that's fantastic.
Always under 150. My insulin intake is down. Like,
yeah,
it's just it's unreal. And I got to report that to the doctor this week, and the doctor had nothing to say back. Now, like, all right, well, you need to do this. Like, just keep doing what you're doing.
Proof is in the pudding. You know, it really is. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
What?
No, I want to hear you.
Oh, Jesus. That scares the shit out of me. It's just Macho Man. Okay, go ahead. I know, but I forgot that's the thing. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, boy, Macho's in the house. I see him back there.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the deal. I got to ask the question. It's not a heat getter, but I just got to ask. So when intermittent fasting comes up and y'all are discussing it on the show, you never mention me ever. Now, I get plenty of mentions. I can give a shit list. I don't want to ever hear my name. It's fine.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is when you list all the people that have done the fasting, I was the first one to jump on. I'm talking about it, giving you updates about it every week.
Yeah.
And then I hear, like, you just forget. Like,
it's not that I forget. I get a lot of heat when I bring you up sometimes, which, listen, I'm sorry. You're right. Because immediately, because you know what it is? A lot of the people that I remember more so with the intermittent fasting deal are people I've met in person that come up to me, like Brian from Philly and a few others. So I remember those conversations because I can see their face. Like, I'm a very visual person, and I've never seen you in the flesh and blood. So it's less top of mind, but I do apologize.
You ever see a picture of me, Anna?
Well, I've seen pictures of you, but that's really not the same as an in-person conversation. Those really solidify memories for me. So when I see people and I talk to people and, like, you know, Justin Nash is telling me about it, or Brian from Philly is telling me about it, or a few others are telling me about it, I see their face and we're having this conversation, and so it always just like. It comes top of mind. So I do apologize. You are OG.
No, don't apologize. I'm saying you probably see the weight loss too. So it's not just that you see them and you know them, but you maybe seen them and then you see them 6 months later and you're like, oh my God. This stuff is real.
Not so much Brian from Philly because I think I only knew him when he was quite thin. And great job, Big Red. He says 24-hour fasting here. I'm like, get it, motherfucker.
Nice. Great job, Big Red.
That's fantastic.
Props,
that's great. But, like, for example, Justin Nash is a great example because I knew Justin before he started doing it, and he was never, like, giant, but he was, like, a bigger boy, and then all of a sudden, motherfucker's, like, getting leaner. I'm going to see him tonight. Last time I saw him was at the Tarpons game back in, was it August? I don't even remember. But I saw him and he looked great and he had like new shoes. You could just tell like people's swag changes when they start losing weight, looking better for whatever reason. They start wearing nicer clothes and nicer watches. Like they just want to they just feel better. They want to like flaunt their shit more. And when you feel good, you want to dress better. I mean, not me, but.
You know what everybody says when you look good, you feel good, right? But I think it's the same on the flip. If you feel good, you look good too. You go on and look good.
Yeah. So
that's the stuff.
Bubba said that Justin, lost even more weight and he's really fucking dialed it in. And I will be seeing him tonight. So I can't wait to see the improvements. So. Good for everybody that does it. I may have planted the seed, but really it was you guys that did the work, that did the legwork. So don't give me too much credit. I will take it though, but don't give me too much credit.
Yeah, but you got to understand, I would have known nothing about it, and if it came from any other source, if I read about it on the internet or whatever else, if Bubba read a story on it and then kept it moving, I would have had no motivation to listen. I was starving already because I had no care. So my mother and I were already laying in bed with nobody to help us with food.
Oh, shit.
So I was already starving. I was basically already fasting. I just didn't have a name on it.
Right.
Now I put a reason behind it, and it's a challenge. Like my mother, she got a Carvel ice cream cake. I don't know if you ever had one of those.
Fuck yeah, those with the little crunchies in the middle.
Oh, God, so good. So she asked me if I wanted
I know. They're so damn good.
This was 8 o'clock at night, and I said, and then my aunt's like, you should take a little spoonful. And I'm like, no, because Bubba was just talking about it in the morning about how he was tempted. And then he said, no, because if I just take one bite, I'm still breaking my fast.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do it. And then I listened to Bubba in my head, and I said, yes, I'm not going to do it. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, what do you mean? No, I said, nope, no cake.
And that builds confidence. And what's great about that when you, and again, denying yourself too much can go in a bad direction. And I know that from firsthand experience where you deny, and then suddenly you binge. Sometimes that happens. But honestly, when you start to learn to say no to things, it builds a lot of confidence, mostly because you can trust yourself. Right? Because a lot of times we'll go, I'm not going to do that, but then once the Carvel cake is right in front of you and you see mom enjoying it, you go, fuck, and then everything unravels. But if you can stick to your guns and you said, I did it, I know I could do it, I know I can do it again, that builds trust within yourself. And I feel like that is often like the root cause of self-esteem. Like that will really give you self-esteem if you know that you can trust yourself and you have enough self-control and enough self-discipline. So,
hell yeah, I pride myself on my stick-to-itiveness and my willpower, because like when I wanted to smoke my last cigarette, I never smoked cigarettes. I only smoked cigarette for a year when I did coke. But cigarette after coke is pretty delicious. That's it.
Yeah.
So I got into Newports a little bit, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, this is such a waste of money. This stinks. Like, it's horrible for your health. People hate you because you stink. It's just all bad. There's
it's a disgusting habit.
So I said, this is my last cigarette. I enjoyed my last drag. I threw it down. I never had another cigarette. Same thing with drinking. I was having a Corona at the casino. They're free, and I was halfway through the beer, and I said, this is gross. Like, alcohol is gross. And then it makes you feel like shit. And then you wake up in the next morning feeling like shit, and your whole next day's ruined, and you're out money.
Yeah.
So, like, it's all fucking stupid ideas, and it's so easy to just stay off the shit.
Well,
but I pray for people that have a harder time.
Right. Again, I think it's important to sometimes indulge, but more likely than not, you should be sticking to your healthy routine. But you should pepper in some fun stuff sometimes.
Question when you get a chance. So I just wanted to ask you,
real quick,
would it be okay if I publicly accredit Nick the Gun Guy for this amazing Joe the Supermarket exclusive Hulkamania font koozie that I got? Is it
a Yeti or a koozie?
Perfect. Well, I don't know. To me, it's a koozie because it holds a can. It's a Yeti, but doesn't Yeti make more things than just
okay.
koozie?
Yeah. You could post it. I'll repost it. Is that what you're asking me to do?
No, not even post. I'm just talking about right here publicly. I just want to say, hey,
go ahead.
Thank you, Nick the Gun Guy. I want to say thank you, Brian from Philly, because he's become an amazing friend.
Good.
And just all the Anna Army or the Anna Air Force.
Oh, don't be saying that shit. That'll get me in trouble.
No, Anna Air Force. Anna Air Force.
Let's just leave my name out your mouth. All right, Joe. Thank you so much. I'm sure you'll be. We'll see you tonight. Rumble 8 p.m. Also, by the way, thank you, Joe. Appreciate you. God bless.
Sauce, full effect. God bless.
God bless. Before I forget, and I won't forget, I got about 10 minutes left. Deion Sanders will be on with Bubba at 1:15 p.m. Eastern Time on the Rumbles, on the YouTubes, on the Facebooks, on everything. So make sure you watch that live. I know that I will be, as I'm on the motherfucking treadmill doing my shit watching this interview. It's going to be fantastic. I'm so excited for Bubba. That's so cool that he can call Deion Sanders a friend, and not only a friend, but a friend of 29 years. Like, that's going to be a really, really cool interview. And I am, even me, who doesn't give a fuck about sports because it's so boring, even me, I'm excited for the Deion Sanders interview. So make sure that you tune in for that. And of course, Bubba 199 with Hum Sauce. That's me. On the 1s and 2s on the decks tonight. It's going to be a packed house. We got a lot of people. At first, I thought we weren't going to have anybody because we weren't really talking about, who was going to be here. But it sounds like it's all the heavy hitters, and they're all going to be here making burgers, making hot dogs, and then we'll enjoy some great musics from the hands of moi. So it's going to be a good time. So make sure you tune in for that. So a lot of stuff for you today. A lot of stuff for you to bring you into the weekend. Hello, who's this?
Hi, Anna. It's Goldie.
Hey, loves anal, right?
Huh? No, Gold Eggler. Greg.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I thought you said Granny. I was thinking Granny loves anal.
Anna?
Am I what?
Cancer.
Do I have cancer?
You're not?
Did you ask me my astrological sign, or did you ask me if I have cancer?
No, I would know better than that.
Okay, I am neither. I'm cancer free so far as I know, and also, no, I'm not a Cancer. I don't know anything about astrology, so explain to me why you asked me that question.
Because Cancer horoscope says you're determined to start a new life and get into business. That's why I asked.
Is that my horoscope like today? Or is that my horoscope like always?
Mercury just left. It's at retrograde movement.
Oh, Jesus.
Yesterday.
I've never been a man into astrology before. This is new territory.
I have a lot of friends, girlfriends that they always point out these things to me, so
now,
can't help but learn.
Right. Learning is a interesting word to use. Now, would you say that any of the predictions that they make have been correct when they talk about astrology?
I feel this month has. I mean, I took a spill Sunday. I lost my keys. The day before, I lost my wallet. Fortunately, the bouncer found it.
What do you mean a spill? Like you fell down, or just bad things have been happening?
Yeah, I clipped the fence on my bike and went down.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Shit is right, yeah. I was just wondering, also, I was wondering if I can ask you other questions.
Yes, please.
By the way, I haven't been able to, I've reached out to Blitz, but give him my best if you say hi to him.
I will.
Do you guys ever think about streaming on X? I mean, there's really good potential on there. I would suggest you guys try it a little bit.
Okay.
And also, do you personally do any social media like TikTok or anything to make money?
No, I don't do anything. I pretty much quit. I quit social media. I've recently reactivated my Facebook, but again, that's mostly just so I could see what's going on and around Tampa Bay. But for about 6 months, I deactivated my Facebook. I don't go on my personal Instagram. I use Twitter sparingly just because it's easy to send videos to Bubba when, current events or something like that. But no, I'm other than the Bubba Army Instagram, I do not do social media at all. I find it to be just poison. I know, but there's also a lot of information literally everywhere else that I find more useful and less addictive. And it's rotting my brain. I'm trying to incorporate this thing called reading into my life, like reading a book. So that's been a new thing for me that I've brought back. So,
what are you wearing tonight? Do you have any idea?
Now it's getting creepy. I don't know.
It's not creepy.
I'm just
getting dressed nicer. It's working better.
No, I'm just I'm not wearing any. I'm just casual. Me. I'm a casual gal.
Ladies like plan out their outfits. That's why I asked.
Yeah, well, not this lady. I don't know what I'm wearing. I'll probably just like shorts and a tank top or something like that. But especially with the DJ thing, it's hard to I can't be wearing like wedges or something trying to get down with it. So probably tennis shoes, shorts, and.
By the way, Donkey Chief says hi.
Dr. Chief?
He said to check your sushi.
Fuck that. Why did you remind me of that?
Have you heard the Merch Creek 911 call yet?
The Merch Creek 911 call. I'm probably the last to hear it, but I know I've just seen the video.
Okay. Well, I have.
Okay.
I don't know why Bubba hasn't played it.
I don't know, but I feel like we shouldn't be talking about it, so have a great
All right, well, I just want to give a little shout-out, and I'll let you, because I'm sure your phone lines are packed and you want to go.
They are super packed. I
want to tell everybody how much I miss Redbeard.
Yes.
The guy, I loved him, and a lot of people do.
Now, can you help me with this? Did Redbeard have any, family that we could send?
Son, father, his ex-wife. His mother passed away of a different kind.
All right. I mean, if I could get some information as to where we could send and to who we could send a sympathy card to, that would be really helpful.
Well,
I did get one.
They're having their memorial is, I think, 23rd, but I can send a link. Somebody
just so I could send something, because I got a card, but I didn't know where or who to send it to. So
you're talking about a specific address? Yeah,
should I send it to the Sun? Should I send it to? Where's the
memorial site set up? Well, he's from I think Dearborn, so
okay.
I don't know. I mean, I can't flip it up right now because I'm on the phone with you.
All right. Well, if you could contact Lummy or something and or email me, whatever, that would be great. Yeah.
What's just can you tell me it quickly for everybody too?
Just maybe show at BubbaArmyRadio.com. Would be great.
All right.
Yep.
BubbaArmyRadio.com. Show at
BubbaArmyRadio.com.
Any questions you want to ask me?
No.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, good talking to you. TGIF. And,
all right.
Have a great weekend, okay?
Bye. You too. Oh. Hello. Who's this?
Anna, hi.
Who's this? Hello.
No, it's Florida Stanley.
Oh, Florida Stanley. Oh,
Listen,
Florida Stanley.
I record. Listen. I recorded audio last night. I'm emailing it to John from Naples today. I have all the lyrics and the audio recorded, and I got the song. And John from Naples already knows which song it is, and then he's gonna chop it up and edit it for me.
You know, I really tried to stand up for you, brother. You know that, right?
I know. Actually,
I really tried, and I got shit on for that. Just so you know, I really stuck my neck out for you, motherfucker.
I mentioned you in the song.
Okay, good. Because everyone else was shitting on you, and I was like, this is a good guy. He makes some dumb mistakes sometimes, but he means well. His intentions are pure.
I praise you in the song for doing that.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope to see you soon. Okay, good. Yeah, I like you, Florida Stanley. All right. Bye-bye. Or you get yourself in more fucking trouble. I really did stand up for that man. Probably more than I should have. But everyone was shitting on him, and I said, we got to give this fucker another chance, man. He's good Bubba Army. He means well. Yeah, he gives you, a present, like a gun, and then you get in trouble for it, for accepting it, whatever. But, he fucking means well, and intentions matter. At least they matter to me, I think. Okay? Deion Sanders is coming up. Probably going to need to head out soon because I just want to make sure that I give Bubba plenty of time to set up, to prep. He's probably, he mentioned being a little nervous about it, and I don't blame him. It's like, yeah, it's an old friend, but this old friend has got this, they're the hot girl in town right now, and you don't want to fuck this up. Like you fucked up the time because you thought 11:15 Mountain Time was 9:15. Maybe if you were looking at the globe upside down, that would make sense, but you're not. Poor Bubba. And then, you ask Bubba about it, and he gets mad at you. Yes, Anna. But I'm like, I'm just trying to make sure I get it right. Don't hate me. Anyways, make sure you tune in for the Deion Sanders interview. Hottest guy on the planet right now, for good reason. Go, Buffaloes. And then tonight, of course, Bubba 199 on Rumble, the Bubba Army, from 8 to 10 p.m. with Hum Sauce. That's me on the ones and twos, breaking it down. It's going to be a great night. And your last day to qualify for BARP. For BARP 2023, which is technically in 2024, but it is for the 2023, fiscal year. Hope to see you tonight. We love you. And of course, God bless.